So they added this new fence here to protect Methuselah, which is nice. I think, look, whomever built this fence built it from the fallen tree branches, limbs, and stuff like that. Because I remember coming here months ago. They had all over here. They had fallen branches, which I thought came from Methuselah. You see those branches there? We're under Methuselah's canopy, and this Methuselah's massive. So you can't really tell how massive it is from the video, but yeah, it is. It's an original growth and it's thousands of years old. So I can see why they would put this new fence here to protect it. So and it goes all the way down. They are protecting Methuselah with the new fence. We're gonna go down real quick. Hey Methuselah, I love you. Look at Methuselah's feet. That's how a 2,000-year-old coast redwood looks like. So like I said, yeah, this redwood fence is relatively new, and they are protecting the tree. Look, this used to be open, and I don't know why I think they closed it because they're trying to there's this Douglas fir right next to Methuselah, and I think they're just trying to keep it safe. See how it has steps here. So there's that. So yeah, this is a 2,000-year-old Methuselah, old old growth coast redwood, and you can no longer I guess you can visit, but you have to respect its majesty. Here it is. I'm gonna go back up and go visit the elbow tree. Love you, Methuselah. So we came over to visit Methuselah. It's our monthly visit, and there's a double trunk coast redwood here. There's Methuselah over there. Like I said, it's no longer available to the public. I think it's for its own good, because some people are not respectful. They don't know how to respect, because either through ignorance or just, I don't know. So we're gonna check out the double trunk redwoods and other redwoods around Methuselah. Here's another double trunked. And we got these redwood logs on the floor. You gotta be careful with poison oak over here. So yeah, here's the Redwood Grove right next to Methuselah. Methuselah is really easy to miss if you're not paying attention, which is hard to pay attention when you're up here because Skyline is a narrow road, and usually people that come up here are just, they don't live here, they usually just come up here for work. So we're back at Purisima Creek, Redwoods Open Space Preserve. It's like 9 a.m. and the sun has risen. You can see it right there. Not too much fog right now. And we have at the front, one way to know you're in the right spot for the beginning of this journey is to go watch the elbow tree. This is an indicator right here, this deformed coast redwood. I'm calling it deformed, but because it's got 5 trunks. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if you guys can see it. They're all connected. See? That's the indicator. That's where it starts. So we parked over there, and over here there's a sign, Purisima Open Space, Grabtown Gulch Trail. So this is where it starts, the Grabtown Gulch Trail. But besides this little sign, if that little sign ever goes missing, we have this metal fence that I guess the ranger can open. But this redwood here is a strong indicator that you're in the right spot. So got a 5 trunk deformed coast redwood. That's pretty cool, but I mean, it's 5 trunks. So we're gonna come over here. We're gonna see how things are today, how many banana slugs we can count, how the trail is looking. Does it need to be, the last time we came, it looked like it needed some TLC, some trimming. And I don't know if the park ranger is in charge of keeping the parks and the trails clean. Maybe we can all do our part. I was gonna bring a machete to kind of clear things up, help out, but I don't know if that's the best thing to do, so I didn't. And we're gonna go in there and check it out. Here we have this oak tree. We've got redwood groves here. But this is Purisima Creek Redwoods Open Space, so it's a good spot to observe second growth redwoods and occasional old growth. Now I tried my best to locate these old growths, but I'm not an expert, so here's a good one. See that one there? That looks pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of El Palo Alto. See, look at all the tree branches on the floor. So there's probably habitat living there right now. You can see fern as well. I don't want to disturb the habitat, so I'm not stepping over it. But the tree that I'm thinking about is the one I just zoomed in. This one here. You see? It reminds me kind of El Palo Alto. So, yeah, we're at the open space. It's our monthly visit to our favorite old growth redwoods. We already visited Methuselah. We found out that we confirmed that it's no longer made available right now. The trail has been closed. The trail that leads to the tree has been closed. And I think it probably the owners and even the Semper Virens Fund decided to kind of give it a little layer of protection to keep crowds from just doing any potential harm to it. And that's understandable because it's an very old growth, and it's a one of a kind. So you would got some nice redwoods here at this part. You would imagine that you would want to keep it safe. This is on somebody's property, these redwoods here, but they're pretty tall. I don't know how tall it is, the second growth. I don't know if they planted it, but it looks like it's at least 150 feet tall. But I don't know how tall it is. I would have to measure it. Wouldn't even know how to measure it. I guess I would need a ladder, a tall ladder, or a climbing gear. You don't want to climb, but I mean, you wouldn't want to climb these trees unless you had permission and you knew by an arborist. You were backed by an arborist that knows what he's doing, and so you don't want to cause any harm to these trees. And they got the little sign there: German Shepherd on duty, entering premise without consent is risk of natural selection. Owner is not responsible. Natural selection. Oh, look over there. It looks like there was a redwood over there at one point that was cut right there. You got to remember, back in the 19th century, this was a boom town where loggers were over here logging, looking. I'm sure they logged some really humongous trees. And this is just a little remnant of what remains. And of course, you have over there what I think it's an old growth because it's got all the signs of an old growth. That guy over there, it has all the signs of an old growth. This one right here. See? Look. All the signs of an old growth. See how big it is? Look at how wide. And it looks like it survived the fire. This is definitely an old growth. So, and it looks like it's only half of the tree it once was. But look at how nice it is. All right, let's continue. We left a redwood branch around here. We forgot where we put it. We might have past it. I'm gonna go look for it. Here's another example of a double trunked redwood. Yeah, they're pretty common, these double trunked redwoods. And of course, I don't know if people know this, but if they don't, there's a town named Palo Alto, and it's where Stanford is at. And in fact, Stanford has adopted the tree as its, logo. And also it's the namesake of the city of Palo Alto. Well, the story goes that the tree that the Spanish found or saw was double trunked, and it was called Palos Colorados, which means double trunked redwoods. So, but it's no longer a double trunk because one of the trunks fell. But you can see traces of double trunked trees. If you look in the right spot, you'd also see other trees that have up to 5 or probably even more. I guess they call them deformed redwoods. And talking about deformed redwoods, another redwood that's considered deformed is the elbow tree, which is an old growth. It is massive. When you compare it to the second growth redwoods that you find throughout the park. So we're heading over there right now. What you see. These are the redwoods that you see. The redwood growth, second growth. You got to remember the loggers were here over 100 years ago, looking for trees to capitalize on, turn into homes and stuff like that. Somebody left their glasses here. So then you'll come. This is the first marker you'll see. And of course, we're gonna go to the Bald Knob Trail to the other trails. You got to connect to the Irish Ridge Trail, and it's this way. Speaking of double trunk redwoods, look at how nice the sun looks. So the sun is over there, but the UV rays or whatever you want to call them, you see how it looks at a redwood forest. Pretty cool. Different crepuscular rays, I guess, if you want to call them that. Look at this double trunked. Speaking of double trunked, here's a double trunked, and it goes up. Yep, we're in the Redwoods forest. Okay, we've reached. So here's another part of the trail where you have to pay attention, because if you go that way, that means you're going to Borden Hatch Mill Trail to Purisima Creek Trail. But if you go that way, which is the way we have to go, we are going to connect to Irish Ridge Trail in about 1.3 miles. And those 1.3 miles is really going uphill. And then here you'll come across these markers, and it's kind of confusing because if you don't know what you're looking for, and you see that sign in the corner that says not a through trail, you're gonna think, oh, it's not a through trail, why should I go through there? Well, this is the only trail that leads to the elbow tree. And throughout the trail, you see like signs like that where like redwood trees once stood. I guess they call them stumps. And I think you can see stumps throughout the open space. This is just a small portion. This park is pretty big. I forgot how big it is, but and how many miles of trails does it have? But yeah, we're in the Redwood forest. So this is our second banana slug that we encounter, and you have to remember, if you come over here to visit the Redwoods, that this is a part of their ecosystem, and just be respectful. You can pick them up, but don't harm them. When I was a kid, 10 years old, we went on an outdoor education, or outdoor ed they call it, trip for a week, and here in the Santa Cruz Mountains. I think it was in the town of La Honda, and they made us pick these banana slugs up and kiss them. I still remember that. That was back in 1994, 1995, one of those 2 years. But yeah, we might see a wildcat, because this is wildcat territory, and this is not a trail that is here's this smaller double trunk. So yeah, this is not a trail, and you got these giant Douglas fir trees. But anyway, so yeah, we might see a wildcat today. If not, we'll see traces, because the scat, they call it, their defecation or feces or poop is called scat, like the word cap with the S, scat. And you'll see it over here, because they even have the Santa Cruz State University has a program where they have their cameras set up over here to kind of keep track of the wildcats. And I've never seen a mountain lion before, but I've seen bobcats, or at least one bobcat before in Portola Valley. So yeah, that's something you have to keep in mind, is that you might encounter a wildcat coming up here, because this is our territory, and this part of the trail is not, like I said, it doesn't see a lot of traffic. This nice fern, you see this nice fern all over, because fern is a part of the ecosystem here, the redwood forest. You'll see banana slugs, moss, ferns, squirrels are everywhere, birds. All right, I guess this used to be, excuse me, I've been walking on the trail uphill, so I guess this used to be an old growth. Look at how big. Let's check it out. You see, you can imagine how big this tree used to be. Now, it looks like it was at one point as big as Methuselah. You see the girth? And you don't want to be over here at nighttime. It might be a home for the mountain lions. And this is how it looks from the top. Wow. Let's continue on the trail. Just wanted to show you guys traces of how I once looked here. You had big, giant coast redwoods.
which I've read that a lot of people think, because there's 3 types of redwoods. There's a Dawn redwood, which are the smallest ones. There's the, I guess they call them giant sequoias over in the hills, the mountains. And then you have the coast redwoods. So I think I was reading that there's a misconception that the biggest redwoods are the giant sequoias, because they are like very you know, girthy. But I think they were saying that coast redwoods are bigger, but since the loggers took most of them, there's hardly any traces left of how they once were. Anyway, that's what I read, and I've read that before. But anyway, and I believe it, because these coast redwoods are big. Even though they're like most of them that you're seeing is second growth, they're still big. Okay, we've been on the trail for almost an hour. I heard a bird call, and I don't know if we're gonna hear it again. But I'm not so sure what bird it was. No, it's not, mate. It's not. You guys hear that? What bird is that? I'm not so sure, but it's coming from over there. Anyway, let's go. I'm hoping to encounter some wildlife today. Like I said, this trail does not see a lot of traffic, but the people that we do know come here are the researchers from Santa Cruz State University who are keeping track of the wildcat activity up here. So we'll show you a camera once we get there. One of our cameras. You can't really tell from here, but we're above the clouds. You can see the clouds there. And over here. Okay, we're about to enter a part of a trail here that I believe should be cleaned up a little bit by the park rangers, because I don't know, there might be some poison oak. You see it? You see that? Where is it? There. That. So you got to be careful when you come up here. Walk what you step on. You see the trail? It's got this funny looking oak, poison oak, that is getting to be dangerous, to be quite frank. So yeah, try your best not to touch it. I'm trying my best right now not to touch it. But you see how the trail needs some TLC? And that just goes to show you that not too many people walk over here. So I think the next time I come here, I'm gonna bring a machete and I'm just gonna clean the trail for the other people that come over here. And you can hear like bees that are buzzing. Hopefully they don't sting me. But you see how there's like brush that's overgrowing and it's kind of blocking the trail. That goes to show you that not too many people come over here. So this is kind of like a secluded spot where one of my favorite trees makes its home. And here the trail gets a little bit better. This is how the trail, see how the trail should look. And over there it's not, because for some reason no one's cleaning up the trail. So I'm gonna take it upon myself to next time I come, I'm just gonna clear up the brush with the machete or a sickle. And I'm gonna bring some gloves so I don't directly touch the poison oak. So finally I reached the Irish Ridge Trail. We're only 1 mile, like a 1.5 miles, 1.2 miles away from the tree that we came to visit. Let's go. So in here, the Higgins Purisima parking, it's 5 miles. Anyway, that's how it looks. We got 1.5 miles to reach our destination, and then we're gonna come back. And like I said, this open space is pretty big, and it's got a lot of trails. I don't know how many trails it has, but I forgot. But it's online. You can look it up yourself at Purisima Creek, Redwoods Open Space Preserve. It is protected by POST, which stands for Peninsula Open Space Trust. And over here, on the Irish Ridge Trail, the grass is growing pretty tall as well, which kind of concerns me because I don't know what could be hiding or what I'm stepping on, so I got to be careful because this is wildcat country now. Over here, like I said, there's not too much human activity, besides the researchers that come over here and people like me who really like nature. But yeah, it's like I was saying, it's parts of the trail can use some TLC, and I guess people like me have to do it. Independent people who just love the nature, they have to help out, I guess. No one's helping out right now. I guess the next month, when I come over here during the summer, it's almost summertime. I was gonna wait until summer because summer is only like less than 2 weeks away. But definitely the next time I come here will be summer, and we're gonna try to come with some tools, gardening tools, so we can clean the trail a little bit. Since I guess no one's doing it, not even the ranger's not doing it. I guess the ranger is too lazy to come over here, or maybe they're understaffed. They are short staffed, and they're just like I said, it's a big area, so they just don't have the resources right now. But it's okay because I'm going to help out as much as I can. And I don't think we're gonna be able to see the coast today because there's fog. But the next month we might get lucky. We might be able to see the coast, the ocean. So yeah, this is the Irish Ridge Trail. As you can tell, it's grassy. And I heard that, I don't know if it's right here in this spot, but somewhere around here, it used to be a mill. Like I said, this was a milling spot for the loggers or the logging industry who were really chopping down the forest, the redwood forest, during the 19th century. And this is how it looks now. It's pretty quiet. I don't hear any chainsaws, yay, or any loggers. You do have people who live up here. And I've never seen them, but I think there are people who own, I don't know if they actually live up here or they just own property, and whenever they feel like coming over, they come over. But I'll show you guys in a minute what I'm talking about. So yeah, no chance of seeing the coast today. We can't even see anything because it's foggy. See a white wall or white fog, or a fog, heavy fog, and you can hear the little bit of mist. The mist, it's misty. Some little bit of precipitation from the moisture of the fog, and that's what redwoods actually. That's how they get some water during days that are not rainy, which is good for the redwoods. But if you're trying to get the best views, it's not the best time. Like, so you can see the fog. You see the fog. So next month when we come here, this fog may not be here during the summer. We're gonna keep trying to get a picture of the ocean. Not today. Now it sounds like it's raining over here due to the fog, but it's actually a nice day today. Well, at least over where I live, like 10 miles away from here, closer to the bay. But over here, we're closer to the ocean. Thus, the name Coast Redwood. We're closer to the coast, and this is how the coast is. A lot of the times it's foggy. You'll experience fog, even though it's almost summer. Oops, holding my phone with one hand. There's a banana slug. So, even though it's almost summer, it feels like it's fall time. I don't even want to come here during winter, but I might do it just to check it out. The goal is to check out the area, the redwood forest, during different seasons. And I think right now we're in spring, but I think the best season would be probably summer, because even though it's the sun, you won't get enough. I mean, the trees are not going to be getting as much water. They still get watered because of the fog, or via the fog and stuff like that. But I think that summertime we're going to be able to see the coast, and that's what I've been trying to do, is to see the coast, to get views of the coast from up here. Right now it's not possible due to the fog, but we're almost there. This is how it looks once you're near the end of the trail where the elbow tree makes its home. And I believe that tree's thousands of years old, such as Methuselah. But anyway, okay, I guess this is where the mill used to be at. You see how it's a circle? It's like a circular spot. It's like a big circle. It's like you can make yourself a hobbit home over here. If I owned this property, I would turn this into a hobbit hole. Literally, with circular, hobbit hole, like a home. It doesn't necessarily have to be underground. It can just be a hobbit home above ground, but with the circular, structure and doors and windows. And then I would, anyway, just a thought. This is where the mill used to be at, like 200 years ago, or 150 years ago. What year is it? 2025. Let's say 1850. That's okay. Let's say 170 years ago, roughly. You had people over here looking for trees to log. But not so. Now it's, like I said, now it's owned by and protected by Post Peninsula Open Space Trust. And I'm sure sempervirens fawn has something to do with it too, the protection of the redwoods over here. And we're still on the Irish Ridge Trail and surrounded by very young second growth redwoods. I don't know if these redwoods are ever going to grow big, but they might one day. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe 500 years ago. 500 years from now, when we're all gone, maybe somebody will get to see the growth of these young redwoods, or not. Who knows? All I know is that I'm a part of it for some reason. So here we are, we're almost there. So this is what I think is mountain lion scat. You know, there are no dogs allowed up here. So look at how big this poop is. So it's mountain lion scat. So yeah, mountain lions are up here. I just haven't seen them. I've only seen traces. Here we are, still on the Irish Ridge Trail. We're almost there. So we've been on the trail for an hour now. And as you can tell, I have to face different scenarios with scat, mountain lion scat, poison oak, tall grass, banana slugs, you know. But nothing too perilous. The next time I come here, like I said, I want to bring some gardening tools so I can help clean the trail, since no one else is doing it. Fog, precipitation. I could only imagine in the winter when it's raining how it is over here. I've never been up here when it's raining. I would imagine the trails would be muddy and wet with puddles. I don't know if inundation occurs over here. But yeah, just taking a look at the trail. We're almost there. And got a good girthy redwood over there. So we're still going. It's not like if you're a novice, this is an advance. If like you're totally new to hiking and being on the trail, this is advanced. But if you're like an athlete, you like long distance running, like myself, and you're acquainted with hiking and open spaces, then this is not a, what am I trying to say? There's another banana slug. Excuse me. I lost the words. Had a brain fart. Yeah, this is not a difficult, trail. It's quite easy. But that's just the way I look at it. I consider myself an advanced hiker, runner. So I guess there's different like ratings for trails. It goes easy, intermediate, right? And advanced, right? I think something like that. This is advanced for beginners. But for somebody who's like deep into it, like me, more deep into it, it's pretty easy. But it does take 2 hours round trip, even though it's easy. So there you can get a kind of a glimpse of the you know. So here we're in the middle of the forest, Redwood forest, and it's foggy up here today. It wasn't foggy the last time we came, which is like a month ago. And you'll come across this marker, Lobitos Creek Trail to end of trail, 1/2 mile. Iris Ridge Trail that way. And then here, this is why we came over here. We came over here to look at the elbow tree, and we're almost there, man. All right. There's plenty of fog up here today, and I'm sure the redwood that we're gonna go see, the old growth redwood, coast redwood, the elbow tree that, it's been named the elbow tree, appreciates this weather because it there it is. Look at how massive, look at how high it is. Let's zoom in. So goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Look at that big ass, excuse my French, look at that elbow. Woo-wee. And this is, believe it or not, this is a double trunked redwood. So we've seen, look at how, you don't understand how massive this tree is until you see it from up close. Look at all the redwood logs here. So, look, you don't understand how big this tree is until you come visit it and see it in person. There's the elbow. Giant elbow is bigger than most humans, than all humans actually. There's no human bigger than just the elbow alone. And over here it says not a through trail. We haven't gotten over there. We're gonna go over there today, but just wanted to visit one of my favorite trees, which is a sentient, a living tree, a sentient being. That's what I believe. You see, it has 2 elbows if you really look at it. That other elbow right here is connected to it. That's why it's a double trunked. It doesn't look connected, but it is, because I already confirmed that it is. Well, we usually don't come to this part of the trail because the elbow tree, we stop once we reach the elbow tree and we get distracted. Look at the elbow tree from a different angle over here. Like that big elbow. If you can find another tree redwood tree with the bigger elbow, let me know. This is a double trunked, and you can tell right there the 2 trunks. It's the biggest double trunked in the world, more than likely, because I don't know of any other double trunk tree like that. Up north, we have the so-called Hyperion
over in the north coast of California. We're only about 4 hours away from the area that I'm talking about. And over there's bigger trees, redwood trees, like taller at least. And never been there, so I might go there one of these days, sooner rather than later, to check it out. There's a lot of banana slugs up here, a lot. So just be careful when you come over here. I just saw, look, more, a lot of banana slugs up here, because not too many people come over here, because this is a not a thorough trail. But we're checking it out because mine as well. This is our first time coming over here. Like I said, when we come over here, we stop at the elbow tree and another banana slug. So yeah, a lot of banana slug. This is a banana slug trail in the middle of the redwood forest, where the biggest and oldest double-trunked old-growth coast redwood lives and makes its home. So yeah, there's another banana slug. The banana slugs are distracting me. You see it? And second growth redwoods. Surrounded by second growth redwoods. So we're gonna see where this trail ends today. We gotta stretch, drink water, and then head back to the car. I don't know, we might find the mountain lions over here. Maybe this is where they live. I want to scare them or startle them. And it keeps going. I don't know how much more it keeps going. Not a whole lot more, because like I said, it's not a thorough trail. But you can feel the roots of the trees when you're walking on this trail. This is called the Lobitos Creek Trail. Lobitos means small wolves or young wolves. In English. So it keeps going. And you see redwoods throughout. Of course, 170 years ago or 200 years ago, this area looked different. I'm sure there was more giant redwoods around, and of course more wildlife. Probably even had grizzly bears over here. And of course you have the natives, the coastal Indians, or Ohlone. And it's funny because they believe the trees to be sentient as well, living spirits. And I came up with that without even knowing that that's what they believed. So, I don't know. Look, the trail keeps going. We're gonna see how far we can go today. I usually don't come this way, but because this is like the third time that I say, and I'm not gonna say it again, but because the elbow tree, once I reach the elbow tree, I spent about 15 minutes there just admiring it, and then I eat, and then I just go back. I didn't bring any food today.
just brought water. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drink some water, and then I'm gonna stretch. No, I'm gonna stretch first, and then I'm gonna drink some water, and then we're gonna head back to the car. And hopefully I can get back to work. I'm supposed to be working right now, but I just kind of felt it was time to come visit my favorite redwood trees. And we have Douglas fir trees over here, redwood trees. And I don't know where the trail, it should end soon because it says it over there on one of the markers, end of trail. But so far it hasn't ended, and we're going downhill, so we're gonna have to go back uphill to go to the elbow tree and then to go back to the car. It's gonna take us longer, like 90 minutes now. We're like 90 minutes away from the car now. But just wanted to show you guys a glimpse of the open space over here, the redwood forest, Purisima Creek, Redwoods open space preserve. And here's another spot that looks like it was a part of the loggers who were up here almost 200 years ago. So it keeps going and going and going, and you're in the middle of nowhere for the forest next to the coast. Here we see another redwood and poison oak, so be careful on the ground. Wildflower. And it keeps going. And going. And going. What the hell? I think that's where it ends, right? If it doesn't end there, we're just gonna have to turn back because I wanna get back to civilization. I didn't see the camera that the researchers put on one of the trees. I wonder if they took it down already. Okay, this is where it ends. We reached the end. First time reaching the end of the trail. But it doesn't end here. This is where it's supposed to end, but I think it keeps going, but it says, there's a sign here. What does the sign say? It say, just read, warning, trail not passable for emergency vehicles. Not passable for emergency vehicles? Okay. We're not going to continue going because, like I said, we have to get back to our spot. We don't want to get too far away today. Maybe some other day, but we will check out some stuff from around here. It looks like I noticed something over there. What the hell is that? Okay, there's banana slug on the floor, and then there's these spider webs. You have to be careful. What is that over there? Look. It looks like it belongs to somebody. It says delicious ice cream. Look, I found ice cream. An ice cream vendor dumped it here, or somebody who lived over here dumped that over here. That's weird. And I guess you can go deep in the forest through here if you want and look for trees, but I'm not doing that today. Maybe we'll leave that for another day. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys how deep the trail goes and what trees you'll see.
And, you know, fog today. Well, I found another old growth over here. Close to the elbow tree. I didn't know about this one here. There it is. I wonder why the loggers didn't log this one. Deep in the forest, the redwood forest, surrounded by banana slugs and wildlife. Second growth, mostly, and occasional old growth, if you know where to look. And there's the famous elbow tree. Well, in the redwood community, I would hope it's popular, but not too many people that are living know about these majestic trees. And I hope to bring awareness, but in a positive way. This is my goal. I don't want people to do harm to the forest that remains. I want them to do the harm to help it heal. That's the whole goal of mine, is to bring awareness that these trees are spirits, you know, sentient, living beings, and it must be protected. So I'm gonna head back after I stretch. This is it. I wanted you guys to come along with me on my monthly trip to see these majestic old growths. And we're gonna go around the circumference. This is the inside of it. Here's the inside, you know, like the mother of the forest. You can go inside of it. But this is a double trunked, so okay, we got some spider webs here that are growing. I have to remove the spider webs to come over here and show you guys the circumference. Hopefully the spider doesn't come and get me. Here's a banana slug. Sorry to disturb you, banana slug. I didn't step on you. But see, here's where you see another perspective. This is a double trunk. You see two towers. You're in between two towers. And you can continue going through here so you guys can see the circumference. So I'm gonna go around as usual. It's not easy coming up here. It's dangerous, but here you see a different perspective. You see the circumference of it. Wow. Here's one of the elbows. It has two elbows. It's like it has two arms. That's the way I look at it. It's a huge tree. There you have it. Not too many people get to do this. And I'm one of the few. And I'm bringing you guys along with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And here it is. I paused it. Now you know the elbow tree. And you know this elbow tree has a hollowed out, like the mother of the forest, and Methuselah. See? All right.
So, right here, we have the camera I was talking about. MROSD, Permitted Wildlife Study in Progress. Please do not move camera. Photos of people will be deleted. Cam trapping surveys at gmail.com.